Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pipeline Podcast. Merry Christmas, everyone. Our Christmas-themed episode of the Pipeline. I'm your host, as always, Darren McClymans, and we are joined by Ben this week. Ben, how are you? How's it going?
I'm doing all right. Great to be here.
Of course, of course. How's your Christmas season been going? Obviously, we haven't talked much prior to this, but I don't know about you. This whole month has been really going by so fast. I kind of can't believe it.
Yeah, honestly, feels like yesterday was just Halloween. Like November
Yes.
just kind of went by.
Yeah, this whole season, it skipped all of last month, and we just went.
It really did.
Yeah, we kind of just zipped by them all. And
Yeah.
I guess that's a good thing, kind of a bad thing as well. We'll see.
Mhm.
Do you have
Yeah.
any big plans for the holiday season?
I might be going traveling in a few days, but I'm not fully sure.
Ooh, that's fun. That's fun for sure. For sure. But yeah, we have a lot. We not a lot, but we have some stuff planned today. I wanted to kind of go through and rank some of the big holiday
Mhm.
Christmas superhero themed movies and also TV shows from throughout the years, and I'm very excited to hop into those. We do have some people in the chat. Daniel popped in earlier to say he has a job interview. Daniel, good luck. I hope everything goes well there. Kai Rex in the chat. How's it going, Kai? Taj Reacts is in the chat. He said, "Happy holidays. I stole Santa's cookies." How dare you? Don't do that. But without further ado, we're just going to jump right into today's episode and get into some of our weekly news stories. Okay, let's start off with the one of the bigger ones this week, and obviously there was a lot of drama that kind of dropped throughout the week, and the whole Jonathan Major stuff did come out, but I think I'm going to avoid that this week due to this being our Christmas episode and that being the most non-Christmassy topic I can think of. Is all that drama. But I want to talk about the Matt Reeves Arkham Asylum series that is heading over at DC. Now, we've known about this series for several years now, and it was recently announced by James Gunn that it's no longer set in Matt Reeves' Batman universe and is now being made for the DCU continuity. Ben, how much have you been kind of following this project? Was this something that you were excited for, and kind of what's your thoughts on this kind of being moved to a different world?
I'm pretty caught up with all the DC and Marvel news.
Mm-hmm.
So this was kind of a shock, Like I'm a big fan of the Batman. I'm so excited for the Penguin
Yeah.
show coming out next year. And
Mm.
this being set in a different universe, I think I was excited for it to be part of the Batman universe, but I also think it's
Mm.
a good thing for it to be in the new DC universe. You get to see Arkham kind of before you see Batman in that universe, I think. So that should be a pretty cool thing to see, just to be able to explore that world more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these two shows would have been very different. In each world, I think the Arkham show would have been a much, prior, I think would have been a much more artsy type project. But I do really like the idea of it being set in the DCU. I've said this past week or so, I think it could be a really good way to explore the lore of this Batman without actively showing it all to you. Obviously, this is a Batman that's going to be 8, 10, 15 years into his run. There's going to be so much stories that we just don't get to see. And I think getting to see the history of maybe all these different villains that he's fought over the years, the impact that he's had at Gotham. We're going to see some of these past missions possibly that he's been going through. And I think that can be a very fun way to kind of show the audience kind of what he's been up to all this time, for sure, for sure. Now, why do you think this change has happened? Do you think that this was a full James Gunn thing, or do you think that this was kind of a thing on Matt? He's like, I kind of want to touch my toes in that universe as well. What are your kind of thoughts on them, again, just switching tanks?
Well, this project wasn't it originally announced as a GCPD project too? Or something along those
Yeah,
lines?
yeah, it was weird because it was originally that Gotham Police show, and then they said no, we're doing this Arkham thing instead. But then they
Now there
later
might be
said
both.
it's both happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's definitely been a weird one, and I know like this week, especially when like James Gunn has said like, oh, it was always part of the like DCU, and I was like, well, this was announced before the DCU, so I don't know how much weight that statement has. So I was like, that's kind of weird.
I don't know. Part of me feels like this show might have been canceled behind the scenes, and maybe James Gunn
Mm,
went to Matt Reeves and said, maybe make the show part of the new DC universe if you don't want to be part
sure,
of your universe.
sure. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what happened with the like Green Lantern show that was just in like
Mhm.
the like production hell for like three
One that got
years. They were
announced
like,
like yeah,
yeah,
the one that got announced like before Stargirl even aired.
yeah, no, it was insane, and, like, we were just waiting for that show for years, and we're just like, "I don't know when it's happening," and it seems like they're like, "Hey, Green Lantern show, that's really cool, but we're taking it and doing it in something different now."
Yeah,
That kinda feels like what
I
yeah.
remember when Crisis was airing and we saw the little Green Lantern thing at the end of Crisis. People at first thought that was part of the series.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, I heard so many people were like, "Well, just make it like a CW show," and I was like, "I don't know if they have enough money for that."
Superman and Lois would literally have a shock.
Yeah, it's that whole, like, John Diggle thing was so it was such a mess.
They could have done so much more. Okay,
Yeah,
I
for sure.
appreciate Flash for trying to wrap that up, but
Mm.
I don't know. Could have been more.
Oh yeah, there was so much more. There was very clear that they had big plans for him, and again, I don't blame any of the people at the CW. I think that was a much higher up thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was rough. But I am very excited to see this Arkham show. I'm excited to see kind of where we go with it and kind of what we're going to be doing. And again, like I hope we get some like I don't want to just be like a cameo show, but I definitely think we're going to see a bunch of like the villains from the big Batman lore
Yeah.
show
Oh,
up, and
I would think a lot of like unknown villains would probably even appear.
that'd be cool.
I might
Yeah.
even see Conway King or something.
Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be so much fun.
It really would.
Yeah, for sure. So we're just jumping to our next article, and this isn't really a news story. I just kind of wanted to bring it up because it did come out today. And that's Aquaman, Aquaman 2 and the Last Kingdom, which reviews are out for the movie. They're officially out. And I did just kind of want to rush through it just one last time before I ultimately see it, and a lot of people start to see it. Are you excited for this film, or like have you seen it already? Because I know some people have. Have you? Is
Mm,
this something that you're excited for at all? Or
no, I'm watching it tomorrow,
oh
and
yeah,
when it comes to excitement, I I've been doing this the past few years where on Letterboxd I rank every superhero film based on excitement for the year.
mm, yeah,
This was way near the bottom.
yeah,
This was like I think the only thing that was lower than it was Craven, and that didn't even end up dropping this year.
yeah. Oh yeah. This has been such a weird one for me because I love that first movie. I had
Yeah, the
so
first
much
one's
fun with
great.
that first movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and I think it's a mixture of a bunch of things. It might just be because it was the last DC movie to come out this year, and there's been a lot of disappointment from DC this year. Obviously, James
Yeah.
Gunn's thing is in the
Well,
horizon, and a lot of people are like, "But what about that Superman?" Like there's a lot of that going on. Um,
yeah, I don't know. I think he should have saved a big announcement for January of this year instead of January of last year.
yeah, it's so tough because I do agree. I do really agree. It may have been a thing where like they have to start production on a lot of these things, and they wanted to get that out in the open before stuff leaks.
Like he maybe could have
Um,
talked about stuff like Waller, Peacemaker, the stuff that people
sure.
don't know if it's connected.
Yeah.
When it talks about new universe, I think you should have saved that for next year.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree because I do think it's a tough situation because and I don't really like the mindset that like, oh, since we're rebooting, these movies are pointless. Or where my mindset is,
The
yeah, it's
movies,
not going to continue, but they are still films. Like these were made by
yeah,
filmmakers. Um,
yeah,
but
and the Aquaman 2 and Flash had very rough couple of years trying to get made.
yes, especially Flash.
So
I'm
yeah,
just happy
especially Flash.
Flash is out. Like I don't like the
Yeah,
Flash movie, but I'm so happy it's just out now. Like we can
yeah,
move on from that.
I know, like
Um,
seriously. Like my opinion on Flash is I like it of a superhero movie, but I don't like it of a Flash movie.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So I'm
Um,
hoping to get a good Flash movie one day, but we'll see.
I really need one. I love the Flash so much. I hope he
But
gets
yeah, as
something.
much as I love the CW series and even parts of the '90s series,
Yeah, we
I
need a
want a
good
movie.
movie. Yeah, 100%. Robert in the House. Santa Climate's taking a break for yes, yes, he's taking a little bit of a break. But you said it's your least anticipated. Have you seen all the like reviews and stuff that have come out over the last couple hours? Are you shocked
I
by any of that?
Yeah, I have, and, like, I've seen people say it's good if you like the first,
Yeah.
and then I've heard people say a lot of stuff's good, just the story sucks,
Hmm. Yeah,
which I don't know.
I haven't seen too many people just say like, "I love this movie." Like I haven't seen like with the like Marvels over the last couple months. Like there's been a lot
I
of
know,
people
yeah.
like me as well. They're like, "This movie is actually great. Like you
It
should
was
watch it."
surprisingly
With
good.
yeah, yeah, no, and with this one, like everything I see is like it's fun, I guess, but it's not that great. Like it's all kind of either like middle of the road or bad.
Well,
Um,
this movie needs to do one thing for me, and that'd be better than Quantumania.
that's fair. That's fair. We've had like some definitely like duds this year for sure. Like there's
Mhm.
definitely been some. Like I didn't like Flash. I didn't like Ant-Man. But like I actually think it's been a very weird year because I don't think there's any like travesties either. Like I don't think there's
No, I'll tell
anything
you nothing
that's
but
like
like, I liked Quantumania when it first came out. It wasn't until I watched it a
mhm,
second time where I realized the movie's really boring.
sure, sure, yeah. Yeah, it's been a weird year for superhero movies. There's been so much and some great stuff too, like Guardians and Spider-Verse. Like there's been
Guardians,
some
Spider-Verse, and
bangers.
Blue Beetle.
Yeah, oh, peak. Yeah, they're all really, really good. Um, Now the thing I kind of want to like cover before we move on to kind of our main topic today is like it does feel to me like they are kind of just letting it go by. Like it feels like there wasn't a red carpet. They haven't been like promoting it very well. I had a friend this week that like messaged me. It's like, wait, there's a new Aquaman movie out. I hadn't seen a single trailer for this movie until now, and it's like, yeah, there hasn't been much marketing for the movie. They haven't been doing a great job at it.
Yeah,
Do you think that this
DC's
is
letting
a
it rot.
yeah, do you think it's a thing where they're like, we already spent so much money on Flash and all our other movies this year, we're just kind of let this go by and hopefully not waste too much more money because this is a very expensive movie as well. It's like a $250 million. Like it wasn't cheap to make.
No, no, and when with the amount of money that it looked like DC put into to marketing for the Flash movie,
Mhm.
I feel like they just kinda run out and kind of gave up on this and Blue Beetle.
Yeah. Blue Beetle was also tough because like it was like middle of the strikes and they literally couldn't do much with it. So
Mhm.
yeah, but I haven't been seeing like these interviews come in and like there hasn't been a lot. Like it seems like it's just Jason Momoa like being out here being like
Yeah.
doing these TikTok stuff and like they're not doing much for it. And it does hurt my heart. Like I've had my ups and downs with like the DCEU, but
Oh,
it
yeah,
is
me
sad that this is the final outing. Like I wish they could have had like one final big event to
yes,
kind of
but
let
I don't
everyone
like that
go.
people are blaming Aquaman 2 for being, like, a bad movie when it's the final
No.
outing, 'cause it's
Yeah.
not its fault. It wasn't meant to be the final movie in that universe.
Hmm.
When they were
Yeah, no,
filming
that
it, they didn't know.
oh yeah, no, it's very clear that this is supposed to be, and like they, it's weird because they had like they had Batman and stuff in this movie at one point in time, and they now couldn't use Batman because the changes. Like, I also
Mhm.
think that this movie, just like a like production hell. Like, I think there's like 5 different versions of this movie out there,
Yeah,
and
I
this
like
is cut
I
of
would
that.
like to see the Michael Keaton or Ben Affleck scene one day.
Yeah, I'm so curious what that looks like. I think those scenes could have been really cool. Like, I love the idea of just Bruce fighting these like sea monster creatures or
Yeah,
something. Like,
the
it
idea
sounds
of,
so
like
fun.
what my favorite part of the Flash movie is it's a movie that does actually feel connected to the DCEU.
Mhm.
A
Yeah.
lot of other DCEU movies don't.
Mhm.
Shazam 2 tried, but I wouldn't call it extremely connected.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be curious how I feel about it. I hope it's a movie that I at least enjoy. Like, I hope
Yeah,
it. Like, I think Aquaman is so fine as just like a fun superhero movie because I think that's what the first one did, and I think that's what the first one
yeah,
understood was that it felt like at its core it was a comic book film. It felt like you took it right out of the comic books. It's so cheesy, it's so fun. There's an octopus playing drums, like it's
yeah.
insane. I think it understood that, and I think if this one can understand it as well, even if it's not a great comic book movie, I hope it keeps that comic booky feel that the first one had.
I mean, I'm
Um,
mainly excited for, Black Manta just
mhm,
because I don't know why the DCU keep butchering the main character's villains.
yeah,
Lex, Joker, Cheetah,
sure,
not done
that's
well, so I'm
very
hoping
fair.
they do Black Manta justice.
Yeah, I'm man, the final DC EU villain as well. That's crazy to think about.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean their
well,
villain game definitely hasn't been the greatest, I feel.
they did Zod. Don't know why they went down from there.
Yeah. Yeah, Zod was pretty good. I'm trying to think. Um
Um,
Shazam 2s weren't bad, but they also weren't good. Like I think a lot of them are just kind of in this okay category. Like none stick out to me.
Doctor Savannah was
Mhm,
that his name from
sure.
Shazam 1? He was good.
Yeah, yeah. I think Orm is pretty okay. Like I
Oh
have
yeah, Orm
no
was good.
yeah, but like
And
none of
then
them like
who was the villain in Wonder Woman 1?
oh gosh, it was I forget.
Because as much as I like that movie, the villains are very forgettable.
That's very fair. I think they all kind of like live in this space of just like they fought someone and then they went away. It's like, oh, okay. Like when you think about all these movies, the villains are never what you think of first, unless it is Zod. Zod is the one that stands out as like the
Yeah,
quote.
like
Yeah.
Black Adam was no exception.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's Darkseid from Snyder Cut, but or Steppenwolf, I guess.
Sure,
But
sure, sure, sure. Yeah, Darkseid. But like even then, like when I think about that movie, like Darkseid's not the first thing I end up thinking of. I think of like everything else, and then like, oh yeah, they set up Darkseid, and then we'll never get to see kind of where that goes.
nope, sadly, I don't understand why they don't make a comic run for the Snyderverse.
Yeah,
It's such an easy marketing thing they could do.
sure.
It's also just easy to do. Have Zack Snyder write it.
Hmm.
Just do it.
I mean, I would be for it. I think, and maybe like in the future, once things kind of settle, once things kind of like settle down for them, they could do something along those lines, or like a like animated series or something that wraps everything up. I
Yeah.
like that. I just think a lot of fans won't like, no matter what, they won't be satisfied with what they get.
Oh, I know. I'm not a huge fan of Snyder fans. They're
Yeah.
really annoying.
Yeah. It's rough. I think I don't want to dive into this, but like it's a very interesting fan base to say the least.
Yep, I've seen what fans think of Rebel Moon.
Oh boy, yeah, that also came out today. Maybe we'll check that out. I don't
Yeah, I'll plan to watch that
know.
tonight.
Yeah,
We'll see.
we will see. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So we're gonna dive into our ranking here. So I gathered a bunch of Christmas superhero movies that either feature Christmas or about Christmas, or some of like the CW stuff that had come out throughout the years that we can talk about. Some of these we can zoom through. Some of these we can talk about for a bit. But we're gonna jump over to that ranking.
Alrighty.
Let me can everyone see the ranking okay?
Ooh.
So I made them into categories, and we can talk about the and what they all mean. So to start off. I have this the season to be perfect. These are the perfect ones. We have no issues. They're amazing. Then we have better than your average Christmas cookies, which are our good ones. These are some good projects. We like them, but maybe not as good as perfect. We have not as ugly as my Christmas sweater, but still not great. These ones are the all right. Like they're maybe not good, but they're pretty okay. Then we have not so holly and jolly, which like these ones we don't like. Like these ones aren't very good. Um, and then we have not seen. There's a couple that I there's like one here I haven't seen. There's a couple that's been many years, so I don't know how much I'll actually have to say. And as these usually go, we both kind of have to agree on a ranking and try to pick which place we could both kind of agree on. So first here I have the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which came out last year, which I was a huge fan of. I could not
It was
believe
fun.
how good that special was. What was your kind of thoughts on like that special?
Well, Marvel only released 2 specials, and sadly, they're probably only gonna end up releasing 2 specials.
That is true. That
And I
is
do
true.
prefer the Halloween special, Werewolf by
Oh,
Night.
really? Okay.
But the holiday special was a lot of fun. It was better than I thought it would be. Drax and Mantis are a great pair.
Yes.
I love that we saw more of that in Guardians 3 as well.
Hmm.
It's good. The holiday special is really good.
Yeah. No, I think it works as this kind of like perfect companion piece to Guardians 3. It really felt like, okay, I'm saying goodbye to these characters, but I want them to have one special to just kind of be a family, to be a team one last time before
Yeah.
we ultimately like say goodbye to these characters. I have no issues with it. I would personally put it in perfect, but like which category do you think you would put it in?
I'm fine with perfect. Personally, I'd probably put it in better than the average Christmas cookie, but I would probably
Mhm.
perfect. I'm fine with perfect.
I can put it in the Christmas cookie, and then we can see where
Let's
we
see.
like, see where everything else goes and see if it fits in there.
Yeah, my
Um,
biggest flaw with that movie is it's not even a flaw with the movie. It's just it feels cheap in a lot of ways, but I understand why.
sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, I would love more of these specials as well. Like, I
Oh, I
think,
know. I
like,
hope.
that's what I sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I hope that James Gunn can work on some good DC Christmas specials. Like I would
Oh my
love
gosh,
a
yeah.
Young Justice like Christmas special. Like once he does
Ooh,
that,
that'd be really cool. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's so many. I mean, I just think Christmas and superheroes go so well
they
together.
really
Like,
do.
not to go off track, but like it feels like Christmas is kind of everything these heroes fight for. Like they
Yeah,
fight for the hope and the love and to
yeah.
live. Like they fight to live, and like that's one of the biggest times you want to live, I guess. So I just think they work so well together.
Mhm.
Um, so next up here, I have Smallville season 5 episode 9 titled Lexmas. Now,
Oh my
I have
god, I
not
love it.
seen Smallville for a very long time. I
Okay.
don't remember this episode. I was supposed to have
Wait, when did you watch Smallville?
okay, so it hasn't been that long, but I watched it after Crisis. I binged it after Crisis. Now kind of
Oh,
blend
that's funny.
together.
'Cause
Um,
I binged it, like, I think right after Crisis 2.
oh, cool, cool, cool. Now, do you remember this one? Because I'll be
This
honest.
one I rewatched this one recently.
Oh, fun, amazing. What are your thoughts on it? Because again, for me,
I
it's been a
love
minute.
Lexmas. I think it's one of the most underrated episodes of Smallville.
Yeah.
It's so fun, you just get to see Lex be happy for once.
Hmm.
You get to see Lex with Lana, which I always thought was kinda weird, but,
Yeah,
it
I was
worked.
never a fan of that ship.
In
I
that
mean,
episode, it worked.
yeah,
In
okay.
that specific episode it in my opinion, it's perfect, but that's just, like, my preference.
No, and that's 100% okay. Like, I was supposed to have a friend here as well today that was a big Smallville fan. He's like, "Yo, can we put the special on here?" I was like, "Sure." So I mean, if he said it was perfect, if you said it perfect, I am completely fine putting
It's
Lexmas in
such a
perfect.
yeah, it's such a good episode. I like, one of my goals after Crisis was to watch everything connected to Crisis,
Hmm.
which I think I've managed to do now. I watch Birds of Prey as well and stuff like that, but
Oh wow, okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
man, I
another.
wanted to do that so bad, and I there's some I just still have not got around to.
It's
Um,
it's fun, but, like, the best part of Birds of Prey is Alfred. You'll love Alfred. He's great in that show.
Alfred's always the best, man. I love
He
Alfred and
is.
everything.
He really is.
Um, all right, up next we have Arrow season 1 episode 9 titled Year's End, which was like the first
Yeah,
Arrowverse themed Christmas episode. A very big episode of Arrow. Like
it
such a
was.
like it changed everything for Arrow in such a massive
Yeah, it
way.
did. I also actually watched this episode quite recently because my
Oh
thing with
yeah.
Arrow is for some reason, like, when I was younger, I started watching Arrow, but I started with season 3.
Oh wow, okay.
I went from season 3 to 8, and I never watched season 1 or 2 until about 2 months ago,
Mhm.
where I finally
Oh
decided to watch
that's
season 2.
really
Yeah,
just a couple months ago. Wow.
yeah,
Okay, so that's very fresh for you.
yeah, for season 1 and 2. And first of all, season 1 and 2, great seasons.
Yeah, amazing.
Second of all, it's a good episode. It did change a lot
Mhm.
of stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I'd put it quite in perfect
I wouldn't
because
put him perfect, no.
I
I
would
think there's
do
better
in
Arrowverse Christmas episodes.
I agree, but like that was also the first time that he said, "You have failed the city as well,"
Was
if
it?
I'm not
Yeah, it
mistaken.
was.
Which and like it just that alone to me is like, oh my gosh, and like seeing like the Dark Archer come in, I would
Mm,
say put it in the Christmas cookie, and then again we can kind of see where we're at.
yeah, that one,
Um,
like, it's a good Christmas special, but
hmm,
it's got its flaws.
I think the like following one is 10 times better. Like as good as
Oh,
this is,
yeah.
the next one
I
is
think the
insane.
following one and the first few Flash ones are the best, probably.
Yes, yes. Next up, we have Rain, which was the only Supergirl episode, season 3, episode 9 of Supergirl, which is personally my favorite Supergirl episode. I don't know if you've seen the show.
I've seen
Um,
all 6 seasons of Supergirl, and I love seasons
okay,
1 through 4.
that is fair. After season 4 is when it gets really
Oh,
rough.
no, season
Yeah, no.
4, I consider a top 10 Arrowverse even. I love season 4.
Oh, same. No, it's so good. I think season 3 and 4 are like peak
Yeah, season
Arrowverse
3,
episodes.
Rain is one of my second favorite villains for sure. My favorite villain is Sergeant Liberty, or Agent Liberty, I
Yo,
think.
yeah, amazing choices. Absolutely.
Yeah,
This
my
was the
personal
first.
favorite episode of Supergirl is the backstory episode they get for him,
Oh, sure. Oh,
which
sure.
was
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
don't remember much of that Christmas episode, so this would probably be all you, because I haven't seen season 3 since it came out.
Okay, no, that's fair. No, I mean this was the first episode where like I went like I love this show. Like the just the whole final what 20 minutes or so. It's just Supergirl and Rain beating each other up. You
Mhm.
end the episode with her dropping Supergirl from the building. I would argue that's one of the most iconic moments from the show. That's the moment where like
Yeah,
again I liked season 1 and 2. I thought they were okay, but that was the moment where it was like this show's good. Like this is good TV for the first time in like this show's run, and I ended the episode being like, "Holy shit, I don't know what to do. Like this is insane."
yeah, Supergirl. I do like Supergirl, but it's weird because they have like 1 and 2, which are decent. 3, 4, and 5, or sorry, 5 and 6 suck,
Yes. Oh, I agree.
and then 3 and 4, which are really good.
I would also put this in with I don't just mean to put like everything in this category, but I would also put it
Yeah,
in
I would
the
either
like
put
really good.
that one, or it's for me, it would be a low tier for that one, because I do remember bits and
Mhm.
pieces from this episode,
Yeah.
but
I'm gonna put it here for now, and then we can we
yeah.
can obviously adjust. Next up we have Wonder Woman 84.
Is Wonder Woman 84 a Christmas movie?
It ends it's I'm just gonna put it on. It ends at Christmas. Like, the final, like, 5 minutes or so, it's, like, snowing and it's Christmas
I
outside,
guess I'm gonna put
which
that in Not So Holly and Jolly. I hate that movie.
I no, I agree. I am not a fan of this movie,
Like,
and
I liked
really
it
the
when I first watched it, I liked seeing Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in that movie specifically. I just
Mhm,
really liked her suit,
yeah.
but I hate they butchered Cheetah so much, and Pedro Pascal's only superhero role, I just don't love.
I did not like this movie at all. I
No,
was
I
very
don't know how they
disappointed,
went from the first one to that one.
and oh, yeah, I mean, that's a big thing, which is, like, the first one is, like, I would argue a masterpiece, one of the greatest
Yeah, I
superhero
argue
movies
like
of
a
all
top
time.
5 DCU film.
100%, and this one was not good. Also, it came out in 2020 when we had nothing that year.
I
There
know, and
was
that's why I was really
nothing.
excited for it, 'cause I remember it came out Christmas Day
Yeah,
2020 on Max, and I was really excited to watch it. Like, the only
yeah.
superhero movies we had this year were Birds of Prey and then New Mutants.
Yeah, my hype for that movie was so unbelievably high.
And
I
it
was
was
like,
probably
"This is."
higher than it should have been, but
Yeah, I was like, "This is such a great Christmas present. I can't wait to
I
watch this
know.
at home with my family." And I was like, "This is not Wonder." Like, I feel like they kind of butchered her as a character as well. Like, I did not
Yeah,
think the way
yeah.
they were writing her was very good.
It wasn't,
Um,
no. Honestly, I think, it would've been I know they didn't, but the Suicide Squad, if that released on Christmas, I would've been a lot happier.
I mean, yeah, that movie's amazing. All right, next up we have Arrow season 2, episode 9, titled Three
No,
Ghosts, which I would argue is one of the best
one
episodes
of
of
the
the
best.
Arrowverse.
It might be, yeah, top 10 Arrowverse episode, maybe.
I agree. I put it in like S tier. I
Yeah,
think it's perfect. I think
easily.
it's amazing.
One day I do wanna rank every Arrowverse episode ever,
Oh wow, yeah, that'd be fun.
because I've ranked every Arrowverse season on, Serialized,
Yeah,
but I wanna rank every episode, but to do that, I'm gonna have to do a big Arrowverse binge.
sure. Yeah, I am in 2024. I'm kind of wanting to get back into it because I do really miss this franchise. I want to kind of
Oh, the
do a bit of like
Arrowverse,
a
like,
rewatch.
technically, if you wanna count the multiverse, then the Arrowverse technically ends with Joker too, because have you seen Titans?
I have, yeah,
You know the multiverse episode, you do hear, Joaquin Phoenix with Joker laugh in their multiverse episode,
yeah,
tying into the
yeah,
multiverse.
yeah. I mean, if you count that, man, you're here for like
I know,
for years. Like it's such
I
a
know, it's
such a
but
large multiverse.
I know, and I love that Titans, like, Titans I do like more than the average person, I'll say.
Mhm.
But I just like that they tied in the multiverse to it, like, thought it was a good episode. Good seeing Stargirl one last time.
Yeah, it was very fun. All right, next up we have The Flash,
Oh,
season 1, episode 9, Man in the Yellow Suit. Now this week I actually went through and I rewatched every Flash Christmas special,
yeah, I
or
saw
the
that on your
from the
Twitter.
first 4 season, which I loved. I thought it was such a fun journey to do that.
Yeah,
And I do
this
think.
episode, like, I remember watching for the first time, I was like, I think I was 9?
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and I watched it for the first time, and I just remember that final line of Reverse Flash saying "Merry Christmas" and revealing his identity, and I love that scene. It's one of my favorite scenes of season 1.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fantastic episode. I think it's I like out of the 4 I watched, I think it was kind of like this perfect episode. I think
Well,
it
I
was
can't remember any of the ones past season 2. I don't remember what
okay.
was that first Christmas episode? Did he have one?
What?
Did
Sorry,
Zavatar
sorry.
did Zavatar
It
have a
did.
Christmas?
Yeah, yeah. It was an insane episode. That's the episode where Barry goes into the future and sees him kill Iris.
Oh, right,
Like
yeah.
Jay Garrick is in that episode, and Wally's
Right,
becoming
right.
like Wally gets it. Like it's an insane episode. We'll get to that when
We'll
we
get
get
to it,
there.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think out of all of them, the season 1 is my favorite. Like I
Either way, yeah,
really, really,
that's a perfect episode. It's so good.
I agree. I think it's really.
Season 1 and 2 of Flash, I'm gonna always say are two of the most underrated TV seasons of superhero TV.
Oh, I mean, like season 1 of Flash is probably my favorite season of television. Like, and
I
there's a bias to that. Like, it
I
is.
think well, I
It
think
was my.
season 1's a better written season, but I've always preferred season 2.
That's fair. That's fair. I think between season 1 and 2, there isn't really like whichever one you pick is valid. Like they're both
Yeah, I know.
so good.
It goes like for me, it goes there, and then season 3, 4, and then whatever else.
That's fair.
Maybe
Alrighty.
season 8, like
I mean, I like 6 and 8, but like I like there's such a clear
I like
drop
half of
off
6.
after
I
3.
don't like Mirror Mistress, but
I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot for sure. Up next we have Iron Man 3. Now it's been a very long time since I've seen Iron Man 3.
I rewatched it 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did your opinion change at all from like your past opinion, or did?
Well,
it
I've always thought it
same?
was one of the more underrated MCU films.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, when it comes to underrated MCU films, that and Age of Ultron.
Very nice. Yeah, no, I've always liked elements of this movie a lot. I've always loved the PTSD of like Tony Stark after the Avengers. Like I've always thought that
Like, I
plotline.
understand why people don't like the Mandarin twist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we had to wait 10 years till Shang-Chi to see it, but it's always a good movie. I would put it probably better than your average Christmas cookie. But
Really?
that's where I would
Okay. I'm trying to. I definitely don't hate this movie. I do think it gets a little bit too much hate.
Yeah, I give it like a 7.5 out of 10 probably.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I would personally put it like middle tier. Like I would
Yeah,
put
we
it
can put it
somewhere
there.
in here.
You would
Okay.
either go low, better than average Christmas cookie, or there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I think it's good. I do think there
It's
are
fun.
much.
Like it's not as good as Iron Man 1, but it's better than Iron Man 2 for me.
I might agree. I think it's tough because I think both those movies are like there's so many moments in both those movies I love, but I do feel like they both have like their problems.
Yeah, I don't know why. Just like the reason the Iron Man trilogy is never considered one of the best Marvel trilogies.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just like if they all had the same quality of the first, would be a different story. But they don't. It's weird.
Sure. All right. Next up, we have Arrow season 3, episode 9, titled "The Climb."
Oh, I did not remember the episode at all.
Okay, I remember the ending, and I think we all remember the ending.
Was this the episode where Ra's al Ghul huffed him off the cliff?
Yes, that's the ending I remember. Like I can't remember.
That's like the one episode that I remember from season 3. Then
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, just that moment alone.
Well, that moment alone, like, and this was before I'd watched Arrow season 1 or 2, so I had no attachment to character at that point.
Oh, okay, interesting. So like, if you don't mind me asking, why, like, what made you jump into it then? Was it just like it's on, so I'm watching it, or
my dad wanted me to watch Flash, so he got me into Flash, and then he had watched season 1 and 2 of Arrow. My dad didn't want to rewatch season 1 and 2 of Arrow, so I had to watch season 3 with him.
That's fair. I would probably put it in like your Iron Man 3 category. I remember it being good, but definitely not as great as the ones up above. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't remember much of it, but yeah,
that's fair.
I agree.
Next up, I have one. This is my first I haven't seen, and that's Christmas with the Joker from Batman the Animated Series. I wanted to. What's that?
Have you not seen Batman the Animated Series?
I've seen some of it. I have not seen it start to finish, though. But I did want to put something from that like world in here.
What's the episode title?
Christmas with the Joker.
I'm just gonna, because I've seen the show, but I don't remember what the episode was, so I'm just gonna look it up to remember the plot.
Okay. So if you've seen it, I will leave this one.
Oh, yeah, okay, I do remember the episode.
Okay. So I will let you rank this one.
It was a fine episode. Like, nothing extremely special. Like, it was fine. BTAS have some good Christmas episodes, and this was a solid one. I would put it probably above Iron Man 3, but middle.
Okay, so better than your average Christmas cookie, or no, or here.
Yeah, right there.
right here.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Already we have one that just came out was A Merry Little Batman.
I haven't gotten
You,
around to seeing it yet.
you haven't seen this? I
No.
literally just got finished with this because out of everything I was like, I want to have at least seen this before we do this. So I literally got finished like an hour ago
Literally,
watching
the
this.
only reason I want to see it is because Pat from Stargirl is voicing Batman.
Yeah. Yes, that was my favorite, bro. That was the best thing out of this whole thing. Was just imagining it's Pat. Like it, the film, without getting into too many spoilers, the film just feels like Pat Dugan took over for Bruce Wayne at some point in time and just taking care of Damian. Like that's what this movie feels like, and I think that's the highlight.
Yeah, that's the only reason I want to watch it. And I probably will watch it in the next couple of days. But no, I've not seen it yet. So to follow you.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think you kind of have to go into this one with a mindset that this is very much made for a younger audience. Like it's very clearly made for children. Not in like a Teen Titans Go aspect. Like it's a little bit older than like your Teen Titans Go audience, but definitely a lot younger than like your Teen Titans audience, right? Like it kind of rides that line. It is very cute. Characters don't really feel like they're typical characters. Like Joker doesn't really feel like Joker, or Batman doesn't really feel like Batman. A lot of that kind of stuff. But it has a lot of heart. It's very cute. It's like surprisingly funny. Like there are a lot of jokes. I was like, hey, that's a good joke. And the like animation's kind of weird at times. Like if you don't like a lot of that, like ugly,
they didn't really sell it to me.
Yeah, like if you're just kind of looking at the photos, you're like, oh, that looks ugly. But I think it works with their kind of.
I mean, honestly, to me, it looks better than the Tomorrowverse animation. I really hate that animation.
That's fair. It gives those like Nightmare Before Christmas type styles of like what the characters look like, and I would say in that middle tier as well. It's definitely not your Christmas cookie, but it's not bad either. I would say if you have kids, like put it on for like your family film, that's fine.
So it would be something like kind of like Batman the Brave and the Bold. How that would be a good introduction to the character for kids, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't, not as like your introduction, because I do think like if this is your first look at Batman, I think you have a very different look at what Batman is, because he doesn't feel like Batman at all. Like again, it feels like Pat Dugan's in like a bat suit. Like he plays Pat Dugan.
Yeah, I've heard his voice. He just doesn't sound like Batman.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. But I loved it because it was.
Might sound like Bruce Wayne.
Not even like he doesn't feel like a Bruce Wayne at all. He's way too happy, and that's the point of the movie. Like the whole point of the film is like there's no crime in Gotham now, so he can like retire for a couple years. So that's kind of the point.
And that might make him the best Batman.
Maybe. All right, next I have The Flash Season 2, Episode 9, titled Running to Stand Still. This was also a really good episode. I rewatched it again recently, and I was shocked.
This episode.
So this episode did a lot. This episode had so much included. This was an episode where Trickster and Weather Wizard and Captain Cold broke out of the thing.
Got it.
Patty has her thing where like she killed my father and I want to get revenge. And
Miss Patty.
Like Iris finds out that Francine has a son and she's trying to tell Joe.
Yeah,
like,
I remember this episode. Yeah, right. The first appearance of Wally West. That's right.
Wally, yes. It's really crazy to see. And I thought this was. I honestly would put this up in maybe not perfect.
Yeah, I would feel like, in my opinion, better than the holiday special. But
really, okay, interesting. I
have
no problems with this. I would be okay putting it in perfect.
No, because like it's such a good team up, and this I believe we only saw Mark Hamill as Trickster one more time after this. So yeah. I don't know. Mark Hamill as Trickster is one of my favorite weekly Flash villains.
Yes.
He was so good. So.
Yeah, maybe like high Christmas cookie. Like
Christmas cookie. Like, yeah, there could work. I don't know. Like anywhere around there.
Okay. Yeah. All right, next up we have Batman Returns. Have you seen Batman Returns?
I have seen Batman Returns.
Okay. I watched this for the first time this year, actually.
What do you think of it?
For the Flash for Flash. I thought it was very fun. I thought it was a bit of a downgrade for me from the prior film.
Some people like it better than the first. I'm not one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's fun. I think Danny as the Penguin is so much fun. Like I just love it. Like, as an actor, he's so much fun.
Weirdly enough, it's one of the scare. It's one of the. I wouldn't show it to kids. I get what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah.
One of the scarier horror movie, like superhero movies for kids.
Sure. Yeah, like, it definitely doesn't age, like, amazingly. Like, if this
No.
was made if this was made now, it would get
Oh, yeah.
people would bash it so
Oh,
much,
wait, have you
but
know, it got bashed at the time. Have you seen that, there's an interview or not an interview, where this person's, interviewing a bunch of kids, and they're all, saying how they were scared to watch it and how, they wanted to watch and how parents were really mad and how, like, McDonald's, like, got really piffed about this.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
you should watch.
Okay.
It's a great interview. Just look up Batman Returns interview or something.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah,
It's
no,
yeah, and, like, one of the main reasons Batman Forever even exists is because, they got so much backlash for Batman Returns.
wow, okay. Yeah, that that is crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think it was fun. I think it's good. I think, like,
It's
the
fun.
Catwoman stuff is very out there, but is also kind of fun to watch, and,
Yeah,
I
but,
think
like,
I think it's
Michelle
fun for the
Pfeiffer's
time.
Catwoman, I love her Catwoman, but,
Yeah.
like, I would have loved her
Um,
solo movie, but
I would put it in Christmas Sweater, I think, as well. Like,
yeah.
it's definitely not in, like, the Wonder Woman territory for me, but
Oh, no, no, no. It's like Batman Returns, I rank it to, like, probably a mid-tier Batman film, so, like,
mhm.
not the worst of the worst Batman film, but it's not up there with Dark Knight, The Batman, Batman '89.
Yes. Alrighty, getting through this final list here. We have Legends of Tomorrow Turncoat, which was from season 2, episode 9. I don't remember this one either. It's been a while. You
Well,
were
Steven 2, one of my favorite Arrowverse Stevens.
I agree. Do you know
This
this
episode,
episode?
I don't remember whatsoever.
Okay, we're so we'll just put it in I haven't seen because
It's
it's been a
yeah, it's
while for
just
both of us.
like Legends, I wanna rewatch it one day. I've never
Oh,
rewatched any Legends,
same.
but
Yeah,
I saw it all from episode, like, 1, and Steven 2, I think, is a top 5 Arrowverse season for me.
same, same. It's so good. It's
Like,
so
we finally
underrated.
get to see the true Reverse Flash.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. Alrighty. Next up, we have another Smallville, and that's Gemini, which is season 7, episode 9. Another one
Like,
that I
one I
can't
haven't
say
watched in a
that.
while, so I gotta look this one up. Um, don't remember the episode whatsoever.
All right, have not seen. Alrighty. Next up, we have The Flash, season 3, episode 9. The Present, which we talked about a little bit, was the season 3 episode. I think is one of the most like I'm watching. I was like, I can't believe how much is in here. Like,
Which
Jay
one?
Garrick
Which
is
one's the present?
the present. Jay Garrick comes in and he's fighting the like trickster, and he brings him over and he tells Barry about like the like legend of Savitar, and we find out
Oh, that
that
was that
Eddie
episode. Okay, yeah.
is like
For some reason,
alchemy.
I thought that was episode 1 of that season for some reason, but I guess I'm thinking of the scene where Jay takes him to coffee shop.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy because they do the like prophecy sequence, which is
Yeah, now I remember.
that
Yeah,
that turned us for a thing, and then Barry runs to the future, and
it
Wally
kind,
gets
kind
his.
of kind of off topic, but like my favorite scene of all of Flash is Avatar's reveal.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
That's my favorite scene I think of the whole series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Absolutely love it.
that's definitely fair. I think this episode's insane. I've heard a lot of people say this is their favorite episode. And I was
It's a
like,
good episode. It is,
it is. It is
and I
very, very
believe the last time we ever see Mark Hamill was Trickster.
It is. Yes, it's the final one. I do think it's a little bit of a downgrade from the previous two,
I agree.
but like I would put it in like that middle tier because I do
Yeah,
think it
yeah,
is
I
very
agree.
good. But those first two are just too good.
Oh yeah.
Next one is like the least Christmas thing on this list, and that's
No Way
Spider-Man:
Home.
No
Like,
Way Home. It's like the final 5 minutes are set in Christmas.
I know. I
Like,
remember. I saw it 5 times in theaters, but
um, where would I
No Way
put
Home is an
this?
interesting one because as a movie, the first 40 minutes I think are boring as hell.
Really? Okay.
But then once Doc Ock gets on the bridge, it gets great. But
I'm trying to. I would put it in the Christmas cookie.
yeah, I agree.
Because I like it over everything I've seen in the
Yeah, me
Christmas
too.
sweater.
Like if we had done this when I just first watched it, probably would have gone perfect.
Yeah.
But watching it 5 times in theaters genuinely did make it go down for me. I still think it's a great movie. It's like my 3rd favorite Spider-Man movie.
That is a lot of times. I don't think I've ever seen a movie 5 times in theaters.
I saw Flash 3 times, and that was close.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Well, I was one of the people who got to see it a month early in like one of the fan screenings.
Oh, nice. Alrighty. Next up, what was one I basically put on here just for me. I don't know if you've seen the like Ben
No, Ben
10
10, a
show at
show
all.
I've wanted to watch for ages, but I've never gotten
Okay.
around to it.
Okay, so this is a just me one. It's so different than every other thing on this list. I just kind of wanted to throw it on here.
Okay, if you
Yeah, it's one of the worst of the show. Very unfortunately, like I think it is known among fans to be like, oh yeah, the like Christmas episode was very weird, wasn't very good.
Mhm.
So without talking about it too much, I'll just put it in not so holly and jolly, but it is fun,
Got it.
just the fact because it was the only Christmas special and like there are like 200 and so episodes they did. So
Got it. Yeah, I just don't. But Ben 10, I've wanted to watch for a while. It's like on my
yeah.
watch list, I have Ben 10 and then Avatar: The Last Airbender. Two shows I really want to watch.
Oh man, yeah, both are amazing.
Yeah.
Um, Alrighty, next up we have Legend of Tomorrow, Season 3, Episode 9, titled Bebo, God of War, which was
What
the
did
first
Beavis-
episode of Bebo, which is...
Oh, so okay, it was right after Earthx. Stein just died,
Yes,
right?
yes. Yes, this was
We
Jax's
got
last
to see young
episode.
Stein, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I remember the episode. It was good.
I have a really, like I think this episode is good, but it has my favorite moment from Legends, which is, like, Jax's, like, goodbye speech, because I think that was the moment
Yeah.
where I was like,
I love the way like Stein's death was such a shock.
Yeah.
So especially since it happened to crossover, which is why Earthx is usually considered the best crossover of the Arrowverse.
Yes, very much so. And I think like this episode proved like to me, it was like, oh, they found their footing. Like this show truly knows.
As much as I love Legends Season 2, Seasons 1 and 2 feel so different from Seasons 3 to 7.
Yeah.
Because Season 3 is the first season where they start to embrace their comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And once it becomes kind of a comedy show, then it's like it actually becomes a really solid show.
Interesting.
Like,
Go ahead, sorry.
My least favorite season from Legends is still probably Season 1.
Really interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan just because of the ending, because it did feel like they finally knew that their show was about family. Like they had really zeroed in on that,
Yeah.
and this is a show about outcasts and like
it's what I would hope. It's what I would hope a Teen Titans or Young Justice live action show would be.
Yes, they really understood. I would also put it in like the Christmas sweater, because as good as it is, it's not above a lot of them that are in your Christmas.
Kind of random. Have you seen the Bebo Christmas special?
I have. Oh, I forgot about it. I should have put it on here, but yeah, I have.
Yeah, the Bebo Christmas special, because it just reminded me of that. Because Bebo's weirdly enough one of the more iconic Arrowverse characters.
The like growth. I mean, and it's nothing to say like this was the first appearance of Bebo, which is arguably one of the most like iconic like things of the Arrowverse. Like if you see Bebo, it's like, oh, it's that Arrowverse thing. Yeah.
I think Season 3 of Legends have the most forgettable villain for me.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
Malice was his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. I don't remember much of Malice. Or actually, no, Season 4. I don't remember who the hell the villain was in Season 4 at all.
That's fair. All right, we have the final 5 here. We got about 10 more minutes. The Flash Season 4, Episode 9, titled "Don't Run," which out of the 4 I've saw, and I do like this episode, but this is very clearly the weakest one.
Well,
like
my thing with Season 4, I think it's the most underrated season of the whole show.
Okay, fair.
Because like people say if Season 1 to 3 are only good, I think you include Season 4 in that argument.
Okay.
I love DeVoe because I think the only type of villain who can beat Barry, like statistically, would be someone who can outsmart him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I loved about DeVoe. I don't like that he switched bodies. It did give us Ralph, though.
Yeah, I love Season 4 in theory, but there are definitely things that I think could have been done better.
Like if they didn't do the body switching thing, that would have been good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do think there is like you can tell they've changed writers in Season 4. Like just the way watching them all. Watching them all like back to back. No, that's okay. Like watching them all back to back, you clearly there's a significant like something happened.
Well, what I loved about Season 1 through 3 were the villain reveals, and they just stopped doing that after Season 3.
Yeah,
like they told us like that DeVoe was the villain from Episode 1. They showed us his face from Episode 1,
mm-hmm.
which was interesting at the time. And I don't know. I think Flash could have. I don't know. Season 4 in theory is better, but
I'd put it in the Christmas sweater. Like it's
good.
Yeah, it's good. I think it could be. I don't know. Like I'm
Was
seeing
that the
everything else.
final episode of Flash?
It was. I mean, there's an episode in season 8 that technically takes place during Christmas, but it's like there's like a reef in the background, and that's all you really see.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, like if you could count Season 8 of one of the better Flash seasons, but
yeah.
I know
All
Flash.
right.
What happened to Flash of a tragic?
Oh yeah, I could get on that train all day. I've
Like
talked about it way too much
I
on the
enjoy
show.
9 more than the average person, but I can still acknowledge that the entire middle of the final episode was not great.
Hmm.
Barry's final speech though, great stuff.
All right, next one. I don't feel like any of us is going to have a difficult time putting this one. Is Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Does technically take place during Christmas. I often don't remember that, but it does. Are we both in agreement that it's a perfect movie?
It is, and I'm a guy who actually thinks it's slightly overrated, but I can still acknowledge how good it is.
Okay, fair enough. All right, next up we have Arrow season 4 episode 9.
Worst season of Arrow?
Huh? Worst season. It is very much worse than season of Arrow. It's called it's called Dark Waters. This is the episode I think where she gets shot, right? She gets shot and like put in the wheelchair.
Oh, right. Season 4, they did the whole tease of who's gonna die by the end, who's gonna die, and
oh yeah, oh my gosh, yeah.
It was ended up being Laurel, which was a terrible choice.
I don't remember this episode too much, but just the fact that it's season 4.
I remember her getting shot because I remember they showed future scenes during the whole season, and one of them was a funeral, and another one was just Felicity in the wheelchair a few episodes before we actually saw her get shot.
I'm just going to assume it's not so holly and jolly, just because
it's from season 4.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume I do. Again, I haven't rewatched it in a while. Although I mean,
the only Arrowverse show I've ever really rewatched was Flash.
Yeah,
I rewatched seasons 1 through 4 multiple times.
Very fair.
But yeah, Arrow season 4, not a great season.
It's not the greatest. All right, final 2. We have Shazam. One of my personal favorite superhero movies. I like this movie. It's another one where I was like, oh, it is a Christmas movie. It is, huh? Like,
it's so fun.
It's great. Yeah, I would not put it in perfect.
No, not perfect. Like, it's better than the second movie, but
I agree.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
Like, I feel if you're a Spider-Man fan, you'll like it, like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun. It did give us a headless Superman cameo though.
A lot of people, man, and it sucks because I think otherwise that scene is great. Like
otherwise, I think if they had gotten Henry Cavill back.
Yeah.
To be fair though, I don't like what they did with Black Adam either, but
true.
And
I would go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I just like what they did with Superman and Black Adam. Like, I understand it, but also I'm just happy The Rock's out of DC now.
Yeah. I would put this up in your like Christmas cookie. I think it's very good.
No, it's good. Like, I don't like it as much of No Way Home or really any of those, but I do like it more than everything in the tier below it. So
okay, yeah. And then lastly, we have Hawkeye, which was an entire, probably the only superhero show that's ever been like the whole thing is set during Christmas, which is
the most underrated Marvel Disney Plus show for me.
I agree. I loved Hawkeye. I had so much fun watching Hawkeye.
So fun. Like the most overrated Disney Plus Marvel show for me would probably be Moon Knight. It was fine.
Oh yeah, I don't like Moon Knight. I'm not a fan.
It was fine, but I think it was kind of boring at times. And but Hawkeye, Loki, but Loki's probably my favorite of the Disney Plus show. But then there's Hawkeye.
Yeah, I loved Hawkeye. I understand. Go ahead. Sorry.
I love Kate Bishop. Have you seen the Marvels? Right, you have.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah. Kate Bishop in the Marvel. It was random, but I like seeing her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, I get like I'm very excited for kind of what they're setting up.
I know, especially since I think it was confirmed either yesterday by a reliable leaker that there's a Young Avengers movie in the works.
Yeah.
I saw that on Twitter the other day.
I definitely think one's happening. Hawkeye's a weird one because I understand why. Like, I understand there are problems with the show. Like, it's not. Perfect show.
I mean, I don't think any of the Marvel Disney Plus shows, and this includes Loki for me personally, are above A tier.
Yeah.
I think all of them.
Interesting.
Loki might be low A tier, but like for my favorite Marvel show of all time is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, same.
It's
Like,
so good
I
and so
think you got, like, Agents of Shield and
in there.
Daredevil, like your S tier, and then I think A tier you got Loki, and then you kind of got everything else kind of trickles down.
And then, well, I think one of the underrated ones, I think, is Runaways.
Oh yeah, I wish I would have finished it, man. I've seen the first season and a half. I loved it, but
But yeah, it's fun. It's really good. It's like what I imagine Riverdale would be if it was good.
that's fair. All right, Hawkeye, uh, probably up in here, I would say.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I like it. I like it as much as Shazam, probably. Honestly, for me personally.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is very fun, and I think they.
So fun. I do want the Disney Plus show to be better. I hope Echo could be the best one. I hope I can say that in a month.
I'm very much hoping. I'm
'Cause, like,
hoping it's good.
Tintin, great character. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm very excited for like the future of these like Disney
yeah,
Plus
what if comes out
shows.
tomorrow, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah, probably. Yeah, and that's also something to mention. I forgot to do it during the start. Like, what if like they have a Christmas thing coming out in like
They have, yeah, the
3
what if
days?
Happy Birthday is Christmas.
Yes, yeah. So that's not included here.
And
Did miss a
apparently they
couple.
have like people are comparing it to like Die Hard. And the thing
Mhm.
about Die Hard, funny enough, I saw it for the first time yesterday.
Oh wow, wow.
So
Okay.
like I'm excited for like a Die Hard themed Christmas episode from Marvel.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see kind of where we go. Um, yeah, just with that show as a whole.
Mhm.
I don't know what's in store. But Ben, we are heading towards the end of our stream today. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for hopping on here and talking with us for a bit. Very fun.
Yeah, it was
I
really fun.
Yeah, of course, of course. I would love to have you back at some point. I
I'd
do
love
want
to
to
come
just
back. Just text me.
Yeah, of course. I do just want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas.
Merry
Hope
Christmas,
everyone
everyone.
Yes, of course. I hope everyone's getting ready to have a happy holidays. Ben, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter. My Twitter is Ben Tests with 5 S's. Or you can find me on Instagram with the same name.
Alrighty. His link to his Twitter should be linked down below if you want to go check that out. Again, guys, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a good one. We will be we will be back next Thursday with our final episode of 2023. Very excited to kind of look back on all of our favorite things of the year. But without further ado, I will see y'all on the flip side. Bye bye.
Bye.